People think it's easy to be the villain. They think you just wake up one day, twirl your hair, and decide to ruin someone's life. It's not like that. It's quieter. It's 1,000 small moments of panic that harden into one terrible decision. I remember the smell of that hospital room. Iodine and floor wax. It smelled like death. I looked at him. My Ethan. The guy who carried me over a puddle on our first date so I wouldn't ruin my heels. The guy who ran marathons. And then I looked at the space. The flat sheet. My stomach turned. Not from disgust, but from a suffocating, claustrophobic fear. I saw my future flashing before my eyes. Pushing wheelchairs, changing bandages. No more hiking, no more dancing. Just taking care of him. Forever. I was 26. I wasn't ready to be a nurse. I wasn't ready to be a saint. I didn't sign up for this. I said it. The words tasted like acid. But they also tasted like the truth. I took off the ring. It felt heavy, like a shackle. I put it down. I walked out of that room and I didn't breathe until I hit the parking lot. I thought I was escaping a cage. I didn't know I was locking myself out of the castle. The first 6 months were a relief. God, that sounds horrible to say, but it was. No doctors, no physical therapy appointments, just freedom. I went to Tulum with Mark. He was everything Ethan wasn't anymore. Whole, uncomplicated. We ran on the beach, we took photos. I checked on Ethan sometimes. I saw the anger in his posts, the silence. Part of me, the dark, selfish part, felt validated. See? I told myself. He's miserable. He's broken. You would have been miserable too. Mark was fun, but Mark didn't challenge me. He worried about his protein intake and his tan lines. He didn't have that fire Ethan had. But I told myself, fire burns you. I was safe. I started hearing the whispers about a year later. Not about Ethan, but about the Phantom Project. Some tech thing. I didn't connect the dots until I saw the article. Ethan Vance, CEO. He wasn't in a wheelchair. He was sprinting. And he wasn't just running. He was flying. I looked at Mark, who was asleep on the couch with his mouth open. Then I looked at Ethan on the screen. He looked harder, sharper. The accident had taken his leg, but it had given him something else. An edge. I felt the first crack in my justification. I thought I left a broken man, but I was watching him build himself into a machine. Mark left. Turns out, shallow attracts shallow. He found a 22-year-old yoga instructor. I didn't sign up for a serious relationship, he told me. Karma. She has a sense of humor, doesn't she? I was 30 now. My friends were getting married, having kids, and everywhere I turned, there was Ethan. He sold his company for $40 million. 40 million. But it wasn't the money that killed me. It was the interview I saw.
What drove you, Ethan?
Silence. I had a lot of silence to fill.
He was talking about me. The silence I left him with. He filled it with millions of dollars and thousands of helped kids. I filled my silence with white wine and regrets. I realized then that I hadn't just left a man. I had left a destiny. I wanted to be part of that story again. I convinced myself I deserved to be part of it. After all, I was the catalyst, right? Without my leaving, he wouldn't be who he is. That's how twisted my logic had become. I drafted the message for 3 days. I needed to sound casual, breezy, remorseful, but not desperate. Hey, Ethan, saw you on Forbes. Delete, too eager. Ethan, I miss you. Delete, too honest. I know how things ended was messy. That was the word I chose. Messy. Not cruel, not heartless. Messy. Like a spilled drink. I hit send. My heart was hammering against my ribs. I imagined him reading it. I imagined him smiling, remembering the good times. the beach, the marathon, before the crash. I thought, maybe he's lonely at the top. Maybe he needs the one person who knew him before the money. When the phone finally buzzed, I jumped. Ethan Vance. I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. He replied. He replied! I unlocked the screen, a smile already forming on my lips. I read the words. You said you didn't sign up for this. I stared at the screen. It wasn't a question. It wasn't an opening for a debate. It was a mirror. He was holding my own words up to my face. I didn't sign up for the bad parts, I had said. So he was telling me I didn't get the good parts. I went to type a reply. Ethan, please, let me explain. Blocked. I put the phone down on the cold granite counter. The house was silent. I looked out the window at the city lights. Somewhere out there, he was running. He was winning. I looked at my own 2 legs, perfectly healthy, perfectly functioning. And I had never felt more crippled in my life.